Hello online students. In this video I want to generally review your work in Module 2 and look ahead to the work for Module 3. First, I have a little feedback about the discussion boards and other assignments since I've had some questions about them. For the discussion boards, let's look at the rubric. As you see, the minimum requirement for proficient credit on the discussion boards is a college length post or check-in, and all check-ins completed, and at least 3 thoughtful responses to peers during the module. College length is 10 to 15 sentences, and multiple paragraphs are highly encouraged. The more interaction with your classmates you have, the more likely you'll get to the exemplary level for responses. Likewise, the longer and more thoughtful your initial posts and check-ins, the more likely you'll get an exemplary for that part of the rubric. If you don't get full credit, take a look at my comments to see where you might be coming up short, or send me an email for additional feedback. Remember that the discussion boards are like the class discussions in a face-to-face class, and the more you put into them, the more you'll learn. Students learn more from each other than they could ever learn from reading their lectures, no matter how brilliant. The boards are worth 10% of your grade, or 1 full letter grade, so doing them well should help you in all kinds of ways. I'm being pretty charitable about them as we're starting out, but I'll expect to see longer and more thoughtful interactions there as we go along. Second, let me get to my other thing here. I want to talk a little bit about the module assignments, like reviews and things like that. So for assignments like this one, a few of you are just typing in this box down here that comes up when you click into the assignment. This is the comment space, and it's for short notes. I won't grade work submitted here because it's just too hard for me to read and judge its length fairly. If you want credit for these, click on Write Submission right here, and that'll give you a better box to type in up here. The other thing that you can do is use the Browse My Computer and upload a Word document in that space, and then I can also read it more easily. If you get a 0 on this, just go back and look at my comments and ask if you have questions about resubmitting work. You should be able to click on a Start New button that will be in here if you go back to the original assignment. And again, let me know if you have questions about that. Now let's look at the drafts. I'm working through them right now. And you should start seeing grades in your gradebook over there over the next day or two. My plan is to have these all completed and released to you by the time you finish your Module 3 work on Thursday, June the 30th. I'd like to say first that the grade on the draft is not reflective of the quality of the writing. If you look here, you can see that you're really being graded for on-time submission, formatting that's reasonably correct as a Word document, and having a writer's memo. So, just be aware that don't expect just because you get an A+ on your draft that your final paper is going to be the same thing, because there's a completely different rubric for that. Also, make sure that you review my comments as well as those of your peers before you submit the final version, and ask me if you have any questions about that. You'll get some more information about accessing all of this when we get to Module 4. I have to say that I was really pleased that so many of you are on the right track with this essay. You're making interesting connections and exploring in ways that will lead to useful insights. I'm going to go ahead and tell you though about things that I see in most of my other classes about the way that these essays tend to fall short, because I think thinking about that while you're revising may be helpful. So in general, the less successful essays tend to fall into 3 categories. First, there are ones where you're just trying to give advice to the reader. Second are ones where you're trying to cover too much ground and fit your remarks into the neat 5-paragraph essay format you learned in high school. And third, there are ones where you're trying to craft a thesis statement that's so vague or obvious that it can't possibly be disagreed with. Any of these things can hold you back. What I advise most of you to do is just think more about your own process and let go of trying to give generic advice. Also, as you're looking back through your drafts, think about stuff that you're not sure about and explore that. This is contrary to what many of you did in high school, where you were trying to prove your thesis and you worked quickly to a conclusion that you could defend, perhaps in a class period of timed writing. This assignment is about really trying to think through an issue with your writing. So going to areas where you express fear or confusion can actually make for much more interesting writing and new insights. Another bit of advice would be to focus on a single area, like your rituals or your attitudes or beliefs, and let go of a lot of things that don't have much in common with that. A lot of you have expressed really interesting insights on the discussion boards too, so look back at those and see if some of that material gives you ideas. And of course, look back at your notes and your journal work too. I should tell you that even after they're final, these essays can be revised again, so don't let yourself get paralyzed by perfectionism at this stage. You should know too that Weirich's explanation of parts of an essay covers more chapters than I could rush you through in 2 modules. So you'll have more ideas to consider, particularly about introductions and conclusions, as you get to those readings in modules 3 and 4. And I'm also happy to meet with you for a conference. Now let's take a look at the course calendar for Module 3. As you see, this isn't too bad. This is all due on Thursday night again. And in Lesson 1, you're responding to writing and you're reading the Straub essay, which is one of my all-time favorite essays on student writing and response. Make sure that you're doing both parts of the special discussion board activity and ask if you have any questions about that. That's in this part here. I want to go over to the Lesson 2 of Module 3 now. In this lesson, you're doing the actual peer responses. And I want to make sure that you click on both of these links. There's a demo here that walks you through the peer response kind of mechanics themselves, but this lecture is a different thing, and that one gives you general advice about what to say in the responses and how to think about this as you're doing it. So make sure you look at both of these things before you begin the peer response activity. Another thing, if you're having difficulty, make sure you're using Chrome and you've turned your pop-up blockers off. And use the link in your syllabus tab to submit a ticket to tech support if you're having problems, or call them for help. Again, you can find this information in your syllabus tab if you just click in there and scroll down to the information about technical help. Here's the technical support thing, and here's the phone number. And be aware, this assignment is going to close at 11:59 on Thursday, June the 30th, so that your responses can be released for you all to have time to work on them in Module 4. Finally, I want to mention there are a couple of options for getting help with your writing. NetTutor is one, and that one is here in Module 2 in Lesson 2. In that drafting thing, if you remember. Some of you may have already done this. I just haven't seen you turn in the little paragraph about it yet. But if you come down here, it gives you information about NetTutor, and you can go through that. It looks a little bit different now, but the mechanics of it are basically the same. And Cengage can walk you through it if you need to also. So you can get to that here and then just do the little extra credit assignment. So that's one thing that you can do, and you'll have an opportunity to do that again. Submit your drafts to them in Module 6 and 10. I will grade this assignment up through the end of Module 4 when the final thing is due. The other thing I wanted to show you is off of Gateway's homepage. Gateway has some excellent writing tutors. So if you go to Current Students and then you go to Tutoring and then you view the tutoring schedule, you can actually see what they have here. They have contact information. If you email Heather Abbott, she can help you set up something individually with her writing tutor, or she may be able to help you herself. If you scroll down, you can also see when the walk-in times are for the writing lab. They look like they're all at Edgewood during this summer here, Tuesdays through Thursdays, noon to 3. So what I'll tell you about that is tutors are not for dumb people. They're for smart people who want to improve. And it's hard to admit that you're not perfect, but it may be easier if you realize these tutors were once students just like you. And if you're finding you're talking about your ideas on the discussion boards helpful, why not try the same thing in person? That's basically what this is. As I said, I'm also willing to take some additional revisions as time permits in the course and to meet with you individually. Remember, I was once a student too, and I've suffered blocks of my own on my writing projects, some as recently as the past few days. Finally, don't wait till the last minute to do your peer responses, and do contact me if you're already very behind so we can make a plan to get you caught up or see what would be best in your situation. I hope all this has been helpful, and hang in there everyone, we have only 4 weeks left.